Most B2B founders wonder why they don't have leads coming in every single month, and they're pulling their hair out wondering where their next customer is going to come from. It's usually because they are running the wrong type of funnel, or they don't even have a funnel or a system in place. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down all the different types of B2B funnels that you can run as a B2B business founder, and I'm going to be ranking all of my favorite ones, as well as going over exactly what each one looks like step by step, so that you can pick the best one for your business and your specific niche. So let's dive in. The first funnel is the VSL funnel / application funnel call funnel, which is an incredibly popular funnel for a service provider. Now, you can also call it like a demo funnel, but really what it is that we run traffic from ads or retargeting ads where the audience is already problem aware or solution aware, right? And we run them to a long form VSL or a sales page. There is an application with qualification and then a calendar booking. And so the funnel that I run is not too dissimilar. And so I tell you, hey, you've watched this piece of content here. You're trying to solve this problem. If you don't want to solve it by yourself, go to this page, book a call. And so it is a combination of a lead magnet and a VSL funnel. But if you watch this VSL, I genuinely try my best to add as much value as possible and educate people up the awareness ladder so that you're not coming in completely blind and you actually get some value from it. So if you want to check that out, actually go and give it a watch. I suggest you do. It took me a very long time to put together, and I put all of my knowledge into a concise 11-minute video. Now, if you run a service-based business, this is perfect because what it does is that it captures your attention at the right awareness stage, dumps you on a trust building page where you can educate the prospect on why your mechanism works the best, or why you have the best proof, or why you'll be able to provide the best result. And then to qualify them, you take them through an application process. Now, if you don't do this, you're going to get a lot of time wasters filling your calendar. If you do this correctly, you're going to get rid of a lot of the fluff. You're still going to have people get on a call that are slightly unqualified, but it is what it is. And then you get them to book a call. Now, really, really simple funnel, incredibly effective. The most important thing that you should be aware of is that where is your traffic source coming from and what offer are you communicating to them? Those are going to be the two biggest things that are going to get you, at the end of this, the highest qualified results and the most revenue into your business. It's not necessarily going to be a fancy application or the best follow-up sequences or the best targeting, the best audience targeting on Meta or on Google, or it's not going to be even necessarily the page itself, because what most people will do is they will do this. They'll come here, they'll skim through this video, they'll go, okay, there's some proof, I see this, nice, and then they won't even make it down the rest of the way to see all of this other stuff, right? All of the like proprietary method, like here is the offer, we guarantee to add 100K in your pipeline just 90 days, or you don't pay, that kind of stuff. They won't see a lot of this. They won't see how all the pipeline is put together. Look how cool this website is. I mean, come on. So yeah, it's mainly going to be your offer and the hook of your VSL and where you're actually getting the traffic from. The second B2B funnel is the live webinar to call funnel. You can also, a lot of people have been using a recorded webinar to checkout funnel, right? But the webinar itself is a tried and true method where you take traffic, again, at different stages of awareness. They need to be mostly looking for a solution. You are not going to get somebody sit through a 1 or 2 hour webinar who doesn't know that they have a pain. And so you get traffic from multiple sources, dump them to a registration page, you take them through a pre-webinar email sequence, and then you have a live webinar with a Q&A where you deliver some value on the front end, but most of the webinar, to be honest, is just selling and breaking beliefs and replacing them with the beliefs that are going to suit you and your offer. and then you get them to either book a call or dump them into a community so that they can still be nurtured. And so this works really well for coaches and consultants. If you have some kind of brand presence, or you have some kind of proprietary method, or most of your audience that you reach out to or who are ready to work with you are solution aware and acutely problem aware. So, for example, how to find, train, and hire setters without burning your leads, right? The people who are joining this webinar know that they need to hire, train, and find setters. And a 5-day live training on how to build a massively profitable gym. These are people who are looking for this current solution. Then we have the free audit or diagnostic funnel, which is just a form of a lead magnet. And this is the funnel that I primarily run here. Like if you go through this whole page is not to get you to book a call. It's actually to get you to fill out this form, and I will deliver a growth plan to you. Now, and so when you go through this and you fill out the form, I audit your entire business, right? And I can only do probably 4 or 5 of these a week. And so I'm pretty selective with the types of businesses that I choose to do this with. But I go through and I audit everything. I look at all your funnels. I look at your competitors. I do a bunch of analysis personally. I use AI and all of my tools to go through and put together a plan for you. And I'll be like, if I was to teleport into your business tomorrow, what type of plan would I put together for you? So here is an example of one that I did for a chap called Course Launcher. And so I broke down where they are now, where they want to go, all of the things holding them back, and then what I do as far as delivery and what they should be doing regardless of whether they work with me or not, right? And then a guarantee based on the outcome that they're looking for. And I even record a Loom video breaking down the whole growth plan. And so this is this takes me 9 minutes to record, but it is a 4 to 5 hour process that I usually charge thousands of dollars for. If you come to the offer, it's usually something I would charge, like the real world value is thousands of dollars, and I would usually actually charge about $300 to $400 for it. And I have gotten on consulting calls where I actually got on one last week where somebody paid me $500 for an hour of my time. And so it's genuinely something that I can only do a limited amount of. And so they go through, they fill out this form, the audit is delivered, and if they choose to get on a sales conversation, great. If it's a fit, we move forwards. If not, no worries. But this acts like a lead magnet as well, where before they need to trust that I can deliver results, I already go through and deliver the results. Like I show them exactly how everything is going to be laid out. And the worst case, they take this and they implement it themselves. So that's what I would recommend if you are a service-based business and you want to stand out and you want to actually add value on the front end and you want to remove as much risk from the front end as possible, because people don't want to book a call with you. That's the bottom line. 60% of people who already book a call are ready to buy. And so most people are only booking calls because they're ready to purchase, which means that there's a gigantic portion of people who come here and they're interested, but they're not ready to take the next step and commit to getting on a call, blocking out time in the calendar, but they'd be open to getting a lead magnet or like seeing if you are the real deal. And then we have the hub and spoke content funnel. So this is another funnel that I run. It is a long-term acquisition system which builds massive inbound demand and authority. YouTube by far works the best here. So you're building a personal brand on YouTube through video content, including the one that you're watching right now, because everybody knows if you are selling a high-ticket service, the thing that you need to be concentrating on is getting in front of your prospect for 6 to 7 hours. And so a lot of the content I'm putting out is broad and it gets high engagement and high views. You can see this one was Hormozy and it got 21,000 views. It's my most viewed video. It was a 33x outlier. It brought in a lot of the people who may be watching this video. Then I have content breaking down things that are like the 7 dark psychological traits to increase your sales, where I talk about the book Influence. And then once people are in the subscriber base and they've watched some of my videos, I start talking to them about very specific things, like how do you actually book the calls now that you're in the ecosystem and you have a service-based business. How do you actually book the calls? Is cold email going to die? Well, here is my expertise over the last couple of years, sending millions of emails and my take on the whole thing. And then I push people to core sales assets, which is on the website. And again, I'm always pushing either a lead magnet or a direct call to action to book a call with me. And then a call or application is usually the next step. And so this works by, if you look at Hormozi and Iman Ghazi, they do something similar. They put out lots of broad content that captures as much of the market as possible, brings them in, and then educates them with specific actionable advice so that you can actually watch a video like this and you can see the full method that I install into these customers, these clients' businesses that make them thousands of dollars, and they pay me thousands of dollars for the pleasure. Now, if you want to go and implement it yourself, you absolutely can. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. If you want me to do it and save you time and money in the long run, then I can do that if you book a call. That's the idea. Then we have outbound assisted funnel. So basically cold outbound, which is still unbelievably effective. I had somebody reach out to me cold the other day multiple times, and I responded positively. And if they had done a better job, they would have acquired a extremely high LTV client in me for some YouTube stuff. So I was very disappointed in the way that they followed up. I was very disappointed in the way that they put together a presentation. It was all over the place. And all they needed to do was just a little bit of research, and they would have had me. Anyway, so outbound is still a very, very good way of getting high-ticket clients, especially if you deliver a service. It's also incredibly good if you're a consultant or you sell something like B2B SaaS, which takes multiple touch points and you need demo calls and stuff like that. So you can offer a free demo, you can offer free credits, or you can offer to send people to a VSL or a case study or a client interview. And so this is very popular with service-based businesses. Hey, can I send you this Loom video? Or hey, if you need services, let me know. The issue, though, with this and the way that this is typically done is that you are reaching people right at the very tip of the awareness pyramid. So you are only reaching people, really, that are ready to purchase right now, or they may be open to buying. So there's this very small window. If you happen to land in their inbox at the right time and you've got the right messaging and you get everything else correct, maybe they reply to you positively. And that's what happened to me. I was looking for somebody to help me with YouTube, and this guy landed in my inbox, and I'm like, okay, well, nobody else is knocking on my door right this very second. Let me reply to this guy. And the way that it was handled was really terrible. So you don't reach a mass market, and it's often a very strange spray and pray method that you can kind of hurt your brand reputation. So if you are a founder-led business, not the best thing to do is to directly sell them on a cold outreach. But if you are just getting started, you're an agency or you're a service-based business and you're a consultant and you're just getting started, LinkedIn is actually a fantastic way of doing this. And I made a video about how to use LinkedIn to get high-ticket B2B sales. I suggest you go and give that a look. Then if you've got a community, so you've already got a little bit of traffic, you know, there are a couple thousand people subscribed to my YouTube, I drive you to the free community. Or if you look at Charlie Morgan, and so old Charlie boy, he has his YouTube channel, and then he promotes his free school group, and then in his free school group, he ascends you to the VIP here. And then all of the classroom is, well, I paid for the VIP, so that's why you see it open. But all of the classroom is get you to ascend. All of the things on the calls are to get you to ascend. All of this is to get you to ascend to his high ticket, I say high ticket, but high-ish ticket. And then all this is to get you to go and upgrade to his $10,000 product. And so there are these ladders. Now, I actually just filmed a video breaking down everything inside the classroom. So if you want to check that out, make sure you have a look on the channel. And I'm going to be dropping it in the next day or two. So subscribe. But that is what a community funnel looks like. And it's really good for relationship-driven, long-term trust and retention. So it's not good for like capturing attention, driving an action immediately. It's really good for nurturing, and it's a bit more long-term. So I have the same thing. I drive people to my free school group, and you can see that there are 5,000 members in here. And if you want to ascend into the paid, in which you have private access to me, and we're basically not forcing you, but we are highly encouraging that you take action every single week. And we get on a call, and I keep everybody accountable. And it's like, hey, John, what have you done this week? You told me you're going to get done. Have you done that? Yes, no, maybe. And then from that, people do consulting calls with me, or some actually convert into high-ticket paying clients, paying me thousands of dollars to come in and install these systems for you, because I teach you how to do all of that here. But if you just want the fastest results and you want to spend the money, then we work together. So if you're a bit of an influencer, or you fancy yourself sticking around in this industry, the industry that you're in for many, many years, then a community funnel is a great way to build something other than a commoditized product that people feel like they can go and get from anywhere. Because what I'm selling people is cold outreach and AI systems, and you can go and get that from other people if you want. But if you want it from me and you want to have direct access to me, this is how you do it. Then we have a really interesting one, the free book funnel. Now, if you are a guru or a consultant, this works really well. What you can do is you can drive paid or organic content to a free or a low-cost book where people just pay for shipping and handling. Now, the reason that they pay for shipping and handling is so that you have their credit card on file, and then you can upsell them through multiple stages in the funnel. Sabri Subi is a genius at this, and actually, this book is one of the best, dare I say it, maybe the best book that I have read for a beginner to get into understanding how to grow their business and simple marketing principles that are going to actually move the needle. Like, it's like $100 million offers, $100 million money models, and $100 million leads put together with some Think and Grow Rich as well. So if you want to get rid of all of the noise and you just want to read one book, this is free. Like, it costs you, I don't know, $10 in shipping, and he will ship it anywhere in the world to you. And so I highly recommend you actually go through this funnel. And once you purchase it, yes, he'll try and upsell you. And yes, I purchased all the upsells, and I've broken down what it looks like. But go and get this book. Like, I highly recommend it. If you don't purchase the upsells, so the way that he's able to give away these free books, which probably cost him $10 in hard costs, and he sells it to you for $5, is that he makes about $99 on the back end from each customer that comes through, right? So you've got this $197 up front, then $99 a month recurring, and then he sells you a course for $497, and then if you can't do that, he downsells you into $169 over 3 payments. And then he acquires you at a profit, and now you're in his ecosystem. He's got your email address. You are getting educated through the book, and you're actually getting a bunch of really valuable insights in the book. Like, it's not just fluff. It's fantastic, the book. And then he nurtures you through all of these automatic email sequences to sell you into his high-ticket thing. And it works incredibly well. It's unbelievably complicated to set up. And so if you're a business that sells a service and you're a consultant or something like that, I wouldn't recommend this as your first thing. I would recommend this supports the other stuff that you're doing, because what he is doing is he's not reaching out to people who have the means and ready to purchase this high-ticket thing right now. He's reaching out to the people at different levels of awareness, like I talked about here. So he's reaching out to people that they don't know that they're not interested yet, right? He's reaching out to like as broad a market as possible, people that are just beginners, people that don't know he exists, that a solution exists, and then they go through this funnel and then they realize that he is the GOAT, and then they book a call 6 months later. That's typically how it works. Next up, we have the lead magnet funnel, and this comes in lots of different flavors and colors, but it's usually, I am giving you something for free in exchange for a way to contact you. So you opt in, and then you get the thing of value for free, and then I nurture you with emails and content, and I get you to book a call. On the face of it, this is a lead magnet funnel. This is a lead magnet funnel. This is a lead magnet funnel. Like, even this is a lead magnet funnel. And so if you don't have a lead magnet, and if you're just directly selling to people, you are an idiot, and you are leaving so much money on the table, because there's so many different ways that you can chop and change a lead magnet. But essentially, think about it like this. You are driving traffic from a traffic source, organic or paid, and you are giving them big, fast value, something that other people in your industry would actually charge for. Don't make it some PDF that ChatGPT just spat out in 20 minutes. Please don't do that. And then you email and you nurture them through content, and then you get them to book a call. And so an example of Sabri's is that he runs paid traffic because he can afford to acquire a customer at a loss on the front end, because his systems are so dialed in. And it gets you to download a free report, and then you get nurtured, and then you get sent to an application page. My lead magnet is, well, the one that's on my website, a free audit, as well as I do cold outbound, and I invite people onto a podcast. So we feature leaders in the consulting space and in the tech space, and we actually do this, and we get them to come on a podcast. We ask them engaging questions, and then we deliver done-for-you content to every single person that comes onto the podcast, regardless of whether they are interested in moving the relationship further or not. On that podcast, I ask them leading questions about their business. And being that I've done this hundreds of times and I am an expert marketer, I often, almost always, have a penny drop moment where the client or the prospect will say something and I'm like, I know exactly how to fix that problem. And then at the end I say, look, thank you for your time. I'll send you the clips in the next couple weeks. And then also, you mentioned XYZ problem. Listen, that's exactly what we help people like you solve. I have actually worked with somebody just like you the other day, and we managed to solve that problem by doing XYZ. Would you be against it if we got on another call and I could just show you what that looks like? No stress at all. And then 80% of people will say absolutely, because on some level, they are on this podcast because there is a need. People who have way, way, way too many leads and they are growing way too fast do not come onto the podcast. They just don't, right? Because I don't have massive distribution. I don't have millions of followers. And so they come on because they get easy to understand big, fast value. They get a done-for-you content engine. They get authority clips that they can post on YouTube, LinkedIn, etc. And then 80% of these people will say yes, and then 20 to 30% of them will turn into a paid client. And so this podcast method is something that works like crazy for B2B services, agencies, and consultants, where if you can just present with authority And you can diagnose somebody's problem by just listening to some of the things that they've said, because you've done this for years and hundreds of times. Almost always, all you need is just more faces in front of your offer. You don't need to be persuasive. You don't need to get really fancy with the sales techniques. And so I build you a full system, including editing all the content, where all you do is show up, ask the questions, and then do what you're good at, which is ask them the questions that give you the answers that you know that you can fix, and then you just fix them for them on a strategy call, and they will become a client. Like, I have seen it time and time again. It's worked fantastic for me. It's worked fantastic for other clients of mine. If you have a look here and listen to this call with Adrian, it works fantastic for them. If you listen to this call
welcome back.
Dan, it works fantastic for them. It's going to work fantastic for you as well. So I highly recommend, if you're a B2B service-based business, this is the best funnel that you can run from a standing start with very little case studies, with a lot of authority and skill. Like, if you're an idiot who doesn't know what they're doing, this is not a good idea. But if you're an authority and you've been in the industry for a while and you know that you can help people, this is unbelievable at getting appointments. And it's going to cost you a couple $100 to acquire a client, whereas something like this is going to cost you $3,000 to $4,000. All right. So as we start to wrap up here, I'm going to rate all of this right at the very end. You've got DM funnels, social media following funnels. This works great if you have something that's a bit more social media based, right? And so people can purchase through just DMs. Usually it's a bit lower ticket, but you can do coaching, consulting, stuff like that. And usually, if it's higher ticket, get them on a call. And there are things like ManyChat where you can set it up so that if somebody comments a specific word, then you send them an automation and it adds them to a sequence. And like, there are people selling $10,000 products this way. Usually, you need some kind of larger Instagram following, larger Facebook, larger LinkedIn to have this work really well, with lots of social proof for the last couple of years. So if you're brand new, this is not going to work for you. And then you've got an incredibly complicated waterfall funnel, cascade funnel, in which it's based on behavior and people self-qualify. So there's lower ad costs because the algorithm optimizes for engagement first, and it works well for B2B offers where broad targeting can find the right people. So this, you run an ad on Meta, and this content should be specific, and then people who engage with that content get retargeted with ads, and so they are either liking, commenting, or they are watching more than 75% of the video. So this works really well on Google, YouTube as well. And then the third ad targets them with a 30-second viewers with an offer. And again, this is assuming that they're moving up the awareness pyramid. So each of these should be educational. Now, if I was to rank them all from these 10, I would say that VSL funnel, I would say is A tier. Community funnel, I would say is B tier. Webinar call funnel is fallen off a little bit. Free audit funnel works really well. Hub and spoke content funnel is A tier, but it requires a little bit of longer term commitment. Outbound assisted funnel, if you do it correctly, Outbound is fantastic, but most people do it poorly. And so actually, you know what? I'm going to do something controversial. I'm going to put this in D tier. The book funnel is fantastic, but like, it's so difficult to make work. Waterfall cascade funnel, again, really great. DM funnel can work really well. I think the goat of goats is a lead magnet funnel, where and this can be across ads, outbound, inbound, whatever. But as long as you've got something that is big, fast value that other people would pay for, that actually hurts you somewhat to give away because it's so valuable, you will get people who come in through that pipeline, that purchase. It won't be everybody, and yes, some people may take advantage of you and take the thing for free. But look, if you want to book a call and I build out any of these funnels for you, especially if you're a B2B service business and you want a done-for-you cold outbound funnel built with a fantastic lead magnet that positions you as an authority, and the worst case is that you get incredible content that you can share across all of your socials that gets you inbound. That's the worst case on the podcast funnel. If you want me to set that up for you, we have all the systems. We can deploy it in a couple days, and then within 90 days, we guarantee that you will have $100,000 in pipeline, or you don't pay. And so if you go to the website down below, dopaminedigital.io, you can see that this is the offer. We will build an AI growth engine for you, guaranteed to add $100,000 to your pipeline in just 90 days, or you don't pay. So that's the crazy offer, and that's the guarantee. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you click the first link in the description. Go here, click the button, fill out the form. I'll audit your business. I'll give you that lead magnet. And if you decide that I've given you enough big, fast value that you'd love to work with me, and there's a fit, we can get on a call and we can do that. Worst case, you get something like this, which is usually going to be costing $300 to $400. So thanks very much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.